right, so let's talk about the recent pay-per-view Battleground.
All right.
So, what did you think of it, in your opinion?
It's pretty good. I mean, it's pretty good. I've seen a lot worse. I know that.
Yeah. So, what was the match of the night for you? Like, what was your favorite match?
I have to say the main event. I really do, just because I like it when wrestling throws me a curveball. And I was not expecting Dean Ambrose to retain the title. And that was a nice surprise. So, yeah, I'm a big Dean Ambrose fan. So, yeah, I have to say that was probably my highlight.
Yeah, I agree on that. I think the match was like really great. I definitely like the ending to when Dean Ambrose retains the title. Like, I was cheering for Dean Ambrose the entire match. I didn't really care much for Seth Rollins or especially Roman Reigns.
Who likes Roman lame? You know, I mean, show me one person that likes Roman lame.
Yeah, duh.
And if you're pointing at anybody, it's probably either a small child or a woman. Yeah. And there's nothing against that. I have nothing against small children or women. I love them. I'm just saying, not your traditional wrestling fan is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay, so now let's talk about the WWE draft.
All right.
So, what do you think of the drafts that happened recently?
I am on the fence about the drafts. Like, I get what they're doing, and I think it's great because it gives some wrestlers a chance that wouldn't have a chance otherwise. You know, you're basically building a whole other brand, you know, so you have whole new titles, and again, it's going to give people opportunities that they wouldn't have had if the rosters were still together.
Yeah.
So, I think I like it as of right now. You know, again, this is a really, like, we're entering the new era, right?
Yeah.
We're entering the new era of wrestling. So it's kind of a wait and see time right now. I can tell you this much. I enjoyed the draft. I enjoyed Battleground.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoyed the first Raw and, about said Nitro. Oh my God. The first Raw and SmackDown of the new era. So, so far so good, I guess, is what I would say.
All right. And I do want to ask you a quick question. What do you think of the new logos for Raw and SmackDown?
Love them, actually. At first, I like the new SmackDown one better than I like the new Raw one. I'll be clear on that. But at first, I didn't like the new Raw one, but it kind of won me over just because it's kind of retro. It kind of reminds me of the original Raw logo, you know. So change scares some people, but I like it personally. Change is good. So
yeah. Well, when I first saw the new Raw logo, I thought, I missed the Raw is War logo.
I do miss Raw is War, and I miss Warzone. I miss Warzone so much, which wish they would bring it back. You got 3 hours of television, WWE. Make 2 hours Raw. Make the third hour TV 14 Warzone. That's all you got to
do. Yeah.
That's all you got to do, right there.
But, you know, you kind of see why WWE can't really put in TV 14 because, you know, now they change into a family-friendly show.
And being a father myself, I'm all for the family-friendly aspect. But this is my counter rebuttal to you, sir, is they have a network. They have their own network. They have more hours of wrestling on television than there is basically, you know, any other sports of the week combined. I've been saying this for years now. Me and Rich have talked about this for years now. I have always felt like they need to make Raw like more of a mature show. I'm not saying go back to Attitude Era. I'm not saying, you know, degrade women. I'm not saying, every night somebody kill each other almost with, unnecessary weapons. I'm just saying make a little bit more mature content for a more mature audience. And then make SmackDown your more kid-friendly show. When we got brands like NXT and Raw, SmackDown, the Cruiserweight Classics,
yeah.
You mean to tell me there's not room for, some mature content somewhere?
They have Camp WWE. I don't know if you like that.
I'm not accepting that. I mean, I get it. Yes, I love Seth Green. I like that it's mature content, but at the same time, it's like it's not wrestling. It's a cartoon show.
Yeah,
I want to see more mature.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is, like, I want to hear somebody say, "Hey, I'm going to kick your ass." I want to hear guys sound like they're really mad at each other and really want to, beat the shit out of each other. But they're all constrained and restricted now, due to writers and promo, script writing, and it just kind of holds them back a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I do understand why WWE does it. I mean, when they went public back in, 2001, 2002, when they went public with their company, they have to answer to shareholders now. So that's why that was pretty much the end of the Attitude Era.
Yeah. All right. So, Mike, what would you say is? I'm actually gonna give you like a top 5, if that's okay. Top 5 favorite wrestlers.
Ooh, wow.
It could be from WWE, WCW, ECW, whatever.
Oh man. Okay. This has always been a tough question. And see, and you're even being generous, because people usually are like, "Who's your favorite wrestler?" I'm like, "Oh, there's so much to grade from. I can't just give you one." And you're being generous and giving me 5, and I'm still having a rough time.
I mean, yeah, many good wrestlers.
Okay, I'm gonna name them off, and I'm gonna name them off as to why. And I'll say, like, because there's different, like I said, there's different ways to grade a wrestler. You can grade them from how entertaining they are, how athletic they are, how well they talk. Just their in-ring work rate. There's just tons of things to base it off of. So first, and these are in no particular order, I'm going to say Shawn Michaels.
All right.
Because to me, he was a total package, and I don't mean Lex Luger. I mean, he just had it all. He could talk. He was entertaining. He was funny. He could be threatening if he needed to be. He had some of the best in-ring skills that I've ever seen. He sold like it was nobody's business. I mean, that guy looked like, if he get hit, he just looked like he just died just right there in the middle of the ring. And
Yeah.
I mean, so Shawn Michaels is one of the best, like, of all time, like, all around. Like, if we're going to rate, like, all around, I have to put Shawn Michaels up there. These next two are just kind of givens, really. I think they're on anybody's Mount Rushmore of favorite wrestlers. And I group them up together because they're on this list for the same reasons. But that would be The Rock and Stone Cold.
Oh.
They're both great in-ring performers. They're both masters of the microphone. They could control a crowd like it was nobody's business. And they're two of the most entertaining individuals I've ever seen and or heard in my life. So there's 3. 4, I'm going to have to say Sting.
Oh, yeah.
Because much like Rich, I grew up as a WCW mark. We're from the South here, so, like, WCW was the wrestling we grew up with,
Yeah.
And just watching Sting, and I always give wrestlers credit who can change with the times. Some examples with this would be like Kane. He's not the same Kane he was when he began. For better or for worse, he's at least evolved his character over the years. Sting is one of those people. He's evolved his character over the years, and I really respect that. He's another one, much like a Shawn Michaels. To me, he was great in the ring. He was a good talker when he needed to be. He was entertaining. And then number 5. Because, see, now we're getting down to... Because, see, I still got like 5 more wrestlers that I can name off. But, I'm going to have to go... I was about to say Undertaker, but I'm going to change it at the last minute. I'm going to go with Roddy Piper. Because he was another great talker. And to me, again, that's the fun of wrestling to me, is good shit talking, all right? That's what made CM Punk so good when he dropped his pipe bomb. That's what made Stone Cold so good. That's why The Rock was so good. They knew how to talk. They knew how to insult somebody and make the whole crowd go, ooh, I wonder how they're going to respond back to that. And I feel like that's something that's missing in today's wrestling, you know? But, I'm going to have to go with Roddy Piper for this main reason. He could make you hate him if he wanted to. But if he wanted to make you love him, he could make you love him. And I'll end that long-winded answer like that.
All right. And, of course, remember his bubblegum catchphrase.
I come here to kick ass and chew bubblegum. And I'm all out of bubblegum. And we can't forget the infamous, Jimmy Snuka coconut incident.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you're over here, you want to talk, and you're not talking. I got you all this fruit here to make you feel like you're at home. Got you a nice little pineapple. Here, how about a coconut? Bam! Beautiful.
It's like cracked it open. Wow.
Oh, my God, dude. If you watch that clip again, and on WWE Network, it's in beautiful HD, you can literally see poor Jimmy Snuka's eyes rolling in the back of his head as he is stumbling on the Piper's pit set. According to Piper, Snuka knew Piper was going to attack him, but I don't think he knew he was about to get, sucker punched with a coconut. I don't think anybody would.
Yeah. Oh my God, that was wow. All right, so now let's see your top 5 favorite matches of all time.
Oh, wow. Whew. Here we go again. All right. First one coming to my mind is the first Shawn Michaels Undertaker match from WrestleMania. Which was their first one? Was it 24 or 25?
It's 25.
Okay, their first one. Their first match that they had at WrestleMania. Great match. Excellent match. I mean, just work rate. Work rate. That's all I gotta say. Those guys put on a clinic. If you have a dream of becoming a wrestler one day and want to, be a wrestler and learn how to work a good match, go watch that match just repeatedly. Over and over and over and over. Yeah. Just let it sink into your subconscious. Because that was an amazing match to me. I'm going to have to go with Rich and say Sting and Hogan from Starrcade 97. And for a totally different reason than the last one. The match was garbage, but the build-up was great. Sting winning, even though it was like a weird, controversial fashion, Sting finally winning and Hogan getting beat, that was great. And as a matter of fact, that was my very first pay-per-view. So maybe it's just a little bit of nostalgia, but that's definitely on top 5.
All right.
Rock and Stone Cold from Well, I know a lot of people say WrestleMania 17, but I've got to go with WrestleMania 15.
Oh, the classic.
To me, here you got WrestleMania 15. It's a good number. You know, you're at XV, you know, so
Yeah.
it's a good number, and you got two of the biggest names in wrestling history made more money than any other wrestlers together. And to me, that was, you know, this is their first match at WrestleMania. And just the build up to that, and the match itself was really good in my opinion. So that would be number 3. Number 4, and I just got to throw this in here. Maybe it's just how I'm feeling at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But Shinsuke Nakamura versus Sami Zayn in NXT TakeOver Dallas. I still watched that match. You know, that match happened months ago, and I know that's probably going to be the most recent one on my list. But I still watch that match. I will still pull it up on the network and just not watch. You know, I watch other matches from that pay-per-view and stuff. I watch other matches from other pay-per-views, but that one I can watch all the time, and it still just gets me.
Yeah.
When the crowd is really into it, to me, that's when, like, it doesn't, you know, the in-ring work can be great or lousy, but as long as the people are buying it and are really into it and really invested, then it helps. It definitely helps. I'm not going to say that makes the match, because you need a good performance, but it definitely helps. And I just feel like, you know, Shinsuke and Sami Zayn just knocked it out of the park that night. Beautiful match.
Yeah, you can tell by the crowd. They were enjoying that match.
Oh, when you get chants that are "fight forever," clap, 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 clap,
Yeah.
clap, fight forever, you know you're doing something right.
Yeah.
You know, like that was just a great crowd, a great response, great match from both of the competitors. And then one more. Let's see. Nothing's jumping to the top of my head right now, but I know, like, the minute we say, like, we move on, or once this interview ends, I'm going to be like, wait, there was this. Okay, I got one for you.
All right, what's
and I'm a little biased on this one. There is a little biased, I'll gotta admit.
all right.
But that would be Daniel Bryan versus Triple H at WrestleMania 30. Not the main event where Daniel Bryan wins,
Yeah.
but the opening match of WrestleMania 30. And like I said, I'm a little biased because I went to that WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until I actually rewatched it to really appreciate that match. You know, like, I'm over here, you know, like I said, it's WrestleMania. So I'm like, oh, look at the lights. Look at all the people. You know, I'm going to take some selfies and buy some souvenirs and eat a hot dog. And Undertaker ain't losing tonight, you know. And I'm all, so you don't really, you know, see the match like you would on television, you know. So it wasn't until I actually, you know, got back home and a few months later rewatched it, and I go, damn, I think that was the best match of the night. So I'm going to go ahead and give that one to Daniel Bryan and Triple H, WrestleMania 30.
All right, now this one is going to be a little tough. So I'm going to lower it down a bit. Name your top 3 worst matches that you've ever seen.
Oh God, there's been so many. We're going to start, I'll just say this, Viagra on a pole match, Pinata on a pole match, and Title on a pole match.
What's up with these
all
gimmicks?
All 3 from WCW 2000. It was fucking horrible. And there you go. That wasn't as tough as you thought it was going to be, was it?
Yeah.
Now, anytime you get a fucking pole match, and especially, that was just Vince Russo stuff there, where it's like Pinata on a pole with a bunch of luchadors. It's like, how racist is that? You know what I mean? Or you know, a bottle of Viagra on a pole match when it's a bunch of old guys fighting. It's just stupid.
Yeah.
So those are three just worst, god awful train wrecks of matches. But I will give one honorable mention. I'll say Sting and Jeff Hardy from TNA Bound for Glory. What was it? Was
Victory
it 2014 maybe, or 2012?
No,
I can't remember, but
it was actually a Victory Road 11.
Oh, was it Victory Road? Okay, yeah, I'm staying corrected. It was Victory Road, and that was horrible. That was just horrible. Jeff Hardy was obviously in no way, shape, or form or capacity to wrestle or perform.
Too many drugs.
And Sting looked really pissed off. You're supposed to have this epic main event. This is the main event. You know, it'd be one thing if it was like a mid-card match, but no, this is your main event title match. And yeah, Sting just got pissed off and just had to throw him down and pin him, and crowd started chanting bullshit, and as Sting's walking out, he's yelling back to the crowd, "Tell me about it."
Yeah, I mean, Jeff Hardy, it was a bad idea to do that. Like, what, for any reason, would you do that before the biggest main event?
Yeah, well, yeah, that was just a train wreck. I mean, that was just an absolute train wreck.
Okay, so enough of that train wreck. So now let's talk about the recent epicness that happened, and that is Finn Balor coming to Monday Night Raw. What are your full opinions on that?
Dude, first off, about time. Secondly, I think it's great that he went over Roman Reigns, because, again, I was not expecting that. I'm over here thinking, okay, well, Roman Reigns is back. They're going to keep shoving him down our throats.
Yeah.
You know, here we go, basically. But no, man, that was awesome. It's exactly what he deserved. You know, that man's been working in the Indies for years, you know, and making his way to NXT, being, correct me if I'm wrong, but the longest reigning NXT champion. You know, he should have been called up a while back. But I'm glad everything happens for a reason, so I'm glad he's getting called up now. So he can basically, like, he's getting called up now where I think he fits better now. Now that there's a brand split, again, this is what I was talking about earlier, about how I feel like more guys are going to get opportunities now to really shine and excel when they wouldn't have gotten to otherwise.
Yeah. And I would say it was really exciting to see Finn Balor back in Raw. Like, when I first saw Finn Balor coming from the draft, I kind of thought, really? I mean, that fast? I mean, they could have made it as a surprise, actually.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that. They kind of gave it away when they're like, these are NXT people that are going to get drafted. And they don't tell you who they were going to get drafted to, but they still told you, you know, and to be completely honest with you, again, just because I'm a Nakamura mark, it's like, you know, where's Shinsuke? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, to me, he needs to be on one of the main rosters by now. You can't tell me that NXT doesn't have enough people to carry that brand, that they have to keep him around feud with Samoa Joe, because they have plenty of great talent down there. And bring free Shinsuke.
Yeah, all right.
Okay. Hashtag free Shinsuke, everybody.
Yeah. Okay, so I do want to give you one question. Are there any Hall of Famers, any wrestlers that you wish would come back?
I want to see Stone Cold have one more match, but because if you remember, was it WrestleMania 19? That was his last match.
Yeah, it was his last match.
I think that was the one, but it wasn't like it wasn't made to be a retirement match or anything like that. It was just kind of a behind the scenes thing.
Yeah.
You know, he said, if this match goes well, I'll probably want to end it on this note. And you got to respect the wrestler themselves. If they say they're done and they don't want to come back, then you gotta, you gotta respect them for that. And I really do respect Stone Cold for saying, I don't want to come back unless I know I'm going to do something just badass.
Yeah.
Unless it's going to be just the best match of my career, or else there's no reason to come back. So I kind of respect him for that. As far as non Hall of Famers go, and I know it's a fever dream, but believe it or not, I would still like to see CM Punk come back. I doubt he will, or if he does, it's going to be many a moon from now. But he was just really good, and he was in his element. But again, just like I said, you got to respect the wrestler. If he wasn't happy doing what he was doing, by all means, get out of there.
Yeah. Okay, now let's talk about dream matches. What would you say would be the biggest dream match that you want happen? Like, that you want it to happen? And don't say Sting versus Undertaker, because it's the obvious choice. Yeah,
that one, that's low-hanging fruit. That one's too easy. And by the looks of it, that ship has sailed now.
Yeah.
A good dream match. Well, I've had answers for you all night long. This is the one time I actually have to kind of think about it for a second. I'd have to say, this is going to be funny sounding, really, but I would like to see a return match of Brock Lesnar versus Bill Goldberg, but done correctly.
Yeah, a match where both men will have to leave the company the next day.
Yeah, a match where people aren't going to be like, screw you both because y'all don't care about wrestling and y'all won't be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's bad when you're a special guest referee, upstages everybody. But I would like to see that, because that match had a lot of potential, But, again, that ship might have sailed. Although, if you look at the WWE teaser trailer that featured Bill Goldberg,
2K17,
a lot of people didn't notice this. But as they're driving off and he's in the back of a squad car, he notices something out the window. Well, if you look really closely, you see a reflection that says Suplex City on the window.
Oh, boy.
So, is it hinting towards it? Is it more to do about Brock being on the cover, and Goldberg being like this year's special featured wrestler? Who knows, but I thought it was a cool little Easter egg nonetheless.
All right. Yeah, it's a conspiracy.
Yeah, it might be.
Yeah.
You never know with WWE, that's for sure.
Yeah. So, one more thing. Do you watch any other wrestling promotions other than WWE or TNA Impact?
I don't even watch Impact anymore. And to be honest, I don't have much time for WWE. Sadly, I have to, just because of my work schedule and stuff, between my work schedule and my kids, the only WWE that I can sit down and watch fully is pay-per-views. Other than that, it's catching parts of Raw or watching the follow-up on Hulu or catching clips on YouTube. As far as other wrestling goes, like I said, I haven't watched TNA in a few years. Not really that big of a fan of Lucha Underground. It's okay. It's okay. But when I get a chance, I like watching ROH and New Japan. I love New Japan, actually. Whenever I do get a chance. But
all right.
Those would be my other federations that I watch.
All right. So, do you miss the World Wrestling Federation? Like back when wrestling was cool?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's a silly question. You know, they were saying get the F out. I say get the F back in. How's the World Wildlife Foundation or Fund or whatever? How are they going to, you know, WWE, see, they've already trained us to say WWE. I was about to say the WWF was a staple. It was a foundation, you know. Yeah. But no, they had to change it, and WWE. But hey, you know, it is what it is. It's just a letter.
Yeah. All right. So now let's talk about wrestling video games.
Oh, nice. Good subject.
Okay, so I recently rewatched your top 10 wrestling video games. Did you have any changes in opinions, or are your opinions still the same?
Well, first off, one thing that I did about that top 10 list was I didn't want, because I could have filled that whole list of just Nintendo 64 wrestling games. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't want to say that, you know, I put out like an inaccurate video, because that's really how I felt at the time. You know, I really enjoyed those games that I mentioned in that top 10. But again, at the same time, I wanted to kind of be fair and touch on a bunch of different, like, good games, because again, that could have been nothing but Nintendo 64 wrestling games.
Yeah, I mean, there's other games too. Like there's SmackDown games like Here Comes the Pain and Shut Your Mouth.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, that's what I think and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I even said that in the video. Like, I could fill this list with SmackDown versus Raw. You know,
yeah.
2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011. You know, all the way up to the current WWE 2K16, soon to be WWE 2K17. So it's crazy.
Yeah. And I will ask you though, is your favorite wrestling video game of all time still No Mercy 2000?
Yes, I stand by that one for sure. Again, I heard yours and Rich's interview, and what did y'all say? WrestleMania 2000 was y'all's favorite?
Yeah.
Again, I love WrestleMania 2000. Don't think that I don't. But to me, No Mercy was like WrestleMania 2000 plus. You know, it had everything you got in, WrestleMania 2000, and just a little bit more. I just felt like everything was just a little bit tighter. Everything was a little bit more polished. Yeah, No Mercy, hands down. Still to this day, I still got my Nintendo 64. I've still got my original copy. And to this day, I still, whenever I get time, I'll just throw that sucker in and play a match or two.
All right, now, speaking of 2K games, what do you think of the recent 2K games? Like, you know, what do you think of 2K15, 2K16, and what do you think might happen for 2K17?
Well, it's, it's time for a change. You know, if it's a new era in WWE, let's make it a new era in WWE video games, because I don't typically buy, like, yearly sports games. Like, for example, like Madden, I'll buy Madden, like, every 3 years, maybe. Mm-hmm. You know, yeah. I might buy an NCAA football game between that. Basketball, I'll pick up a 2K game every couple of years, you know. But I rarely buy a yearly game, but WWE is one of those games that I've bought literally for the last, almost 10 years now, and which is crazy to think about, but it's not progressing enough. I feel like I'm still playing the old games. I feel like the graphics are still the same old engine,
Yeah.
And I'm not expecting 2K17 to be the standout. This one's going to be different than the rest. I think they're going to have some improvements, as they normally do. But it's time to fix the servers that have been broken for years. It's time to, again, upgrade the engine a little bit. Because, I remember seeing, like, some PlayStation 2 and Nintendo GameCube games that the wrestlers almost look better than they do in some of the games they do now. You know, like
Yeah.
it's kind of ridiculous. I feel like they've almost gone backwards. I feel like if you go look at some of the old like SmackDown versus Raw, like back when THQ was running it and stuff,
Yeah.
they almost look better then than they do now. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, I played those games, and really, I agree with you. They look a lot better. Even despite an old games, but they still look better.
Well, it's like they downgraded somehow. It's like they made them look worse somehow, and I don't know how. Now don't get me wrong. Ever since 2K was it 15 when that came out on or no, it was 15. The first one that came out on this current generation of consoles, they had the face mapping, and it looks good. You know, I mean, it actually looks realistic. It looks like them. The problem is until they start moving. And then when they start moving, it's that uncanny valley aspect, you know. It just does something doesn't sit right. It just doesn't look right, you know.
Yeah, they don't. Wow.
The physics are a little off, to say the absolute least, I think.
Yeah, I mean, they try to make the gameplay look realistic, but no, it just doesn't work.
Yeah, again, there's sometimes it really shines, but yeah, overall, it just doesn't work. I'm with you on that.
Yeah. Okay, and let's see here. There you go, wrestling video games. Okay, now a little different topic, and this is for the end of the interview.
Okay.
So, I already asked Rich this question, but I'm gonna ask you. What do you think? What do you think of the John Cena Vine videos?
Like John Cena, dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Like the memes, basically,
Yeah, the memes.
of. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love them. I love them, honestly. I think they're hilarious.
Yeah.
It's just like the Randy Orton RKO Vine videos that came out, you know, just RKO out of nowhere.
Oh, I've seen
I love
them.
those.
Yeah.
And what's funny is I didn't used to be a Cena fan. I used to be one of those, Cena haters and stuff. And what it was is it was more or less like it was fun to boo John Cena, you know.
Yeah.
But we all respect him. We all know that the dude puts in hard work and puts everything he's got into what he does, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's funny. It's like ever since Roman Reigns came around, man, like makes John Cena look like The Rock all of a sudden.
They try and make Roman Reigns look like the new John Cena.
Yeah, but he's not.
No.
That's the problem. I mean, he's got the look and the build, and he's good in ring for the most part, you know.
Yeah.
But he just lacks the mic skills. His character's off. You know, it's like everybody in the arena is booing him. You know, I said that earlier about women and children. Well, it's gotten to the point now where women and children aren't even cheering for him anymore.
No.
You saw Battleground.
Yeah.
Battleground, it was just a sea of boos. You know, WrestleMania, they actually had to mute the boos on a WrestleMania because he won. You know, it's like, don't fight this much. It's like if they want to boo him, let them boo him. Make him a heel. You know, make you some money while you're doing it.
Yeah.
That's just my logic, but. Then again, you know, I'm just some wrestling mark. Who am I, after all?
Yeah. And you know what? I just want to say, though, that thanks, Mike, for, entertaining us with all the creepy gaming, all the funny videos that you've done, especially with Rich and Smiley Dawn. Like, you've entertained us for so many years, and you know what? We and the rest of the subscribers, all the people that you gave us sticky shoutouts to, we appreciate it.
That means a lot to me, man. That means a lot more to me than you know, really. That's again, I'm very, very flattered. I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful that I can do this for people. And it's like we talked about. I think I don't think we're recording yet, but said, you know, if I can bring a smile to somebody's face, if I can help somebody think about, say they're having an issue in their life, if I can make them forget about it for 10 to 15 minutes, you know, if I can, you know, this world's going to shit, and it's just like, if I can distract you for 15 minutes and entertain you for a little bit, put a smile on your face, then I feel like I did my job. So thank you for that. That is the ultimate compliment. Much appreciated, man.
Thanks, Mike. And I will like to invite you to, if you want to check out my other channel. I'm actually making a podcast channel, which I'm not done yet, but I'll put it up as soon as I can.
Awesome, man. Yeah, no, I think you'd be really good at that, dude.
Yeah, and hopefully I can have you as a guest.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man. Anytime.
Okay, so I guess we'll end the interview right here. So,
all right.
So once again, Mike, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming in and letting me interview you. It was a great time.
Hey, this was fun, man. Like I said, I enjoyed it. This was great, and thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so to everyone out there, this was Mullet Mike Horcastle from the Sticky Paddle Gaming Network. Wow, it was awesome to meet you.
Vice versa, brother.
All right, so yeah, that was it, guys. If you like to follow me on Twitter, check out Facebook, Instagram, and subscribe to me, and subscribe to Mullet Mike and the Sticky Paddle Gaming channel. And yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And Mike, would you like to end the video for me?
Sure. I think that's going to do it for us. Thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed. Hi, Mullet Mike saying, keep it sticky, stay creepy. Thank you all for watching. Peace.
All right. See you guys next time.